Hey everybody, this is Hunter V here, your MonsterCub. A lot of you have been writing into me, asking a lot of questions, personal questions, questions about my career, questions about, the industry and everything, and I just wanted to take some time out and answer some of your questions and let you guys know what's up. So without further ado, go ahead with the first question.
So, Hunter, tell us, what made you want to get into the adult entertainment industry?
I've wanted to do porn ever since I was 16 years old. I really liked sex and I liked porn, and I thought to myself, well, if I can fuck hot guys and get paid for it and be famous for it, then that'd be great.
So, have you ever done any work for us before, or any other studios?
I've worked with Bear Films since August of 2012. I did my first sex scene with Leo Stone, and also did solo. And then this past June at Gay Days, I did a scene, a three-way, and then I did an orgy. Aside from all the stuff with Bear Films, I've also done Pantheon Bear. I did a solo for them back in 2012. I've done a few scenes here and there for other smaller companies. And most recently, I've done 2 scenes for Gay Pawn, which a lot of you probably have seen all over the internet. That was with Venetian Studio in Miami. And then now I'm just working on stuff for MonsterCub.com.
So, tell us about some of your first experiences, if it was good, or, at least some of your best experiences.
Well, I guess I can do a first and a best, but they're not necessarily both. My first time when I was, I guess really the first time was when I was with Bear Films. If you want to talk about doing sex scenes, that is. So when I did my first sex scene with Bear Films, I was very nervous, and I wasn't sure what to expect. I heard some things about my scene partner, and it did worry me a little bit. Also the fact that I wasn't 100% into Leo, but I just wanted to do a good job, and I wanted to get into it. So I, went to my shoot, and things got rolling. And to be quite honest, it was kind of mechanical. I felt like we had to stop and go a lot. It wasn't very fluid, but we got through it, and you guys loved it. So as far as best times go, it would have to be recently. Well, there are a couple of good ones, but the one more recently, I was filming with my buddy Henry at Leatherworks, Fort Lauderdale, and we did our first dungeon scene together. And I've never done anything in a dungeon before. I mean, I've done some stuff in some guys' basements, but I've never done, a legit dungeon scene. So, he and I went in there, and we kind of just experimented and played around and made the best of it, and it was fun, and the video came out really good, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it was actually a really good one. And and if you had to specify, what would you say your favorite thing about this job would be?
My favorite thing about this job, turning people on, and in a weird way turning myself on. It's interesting to hear all the fan feedback and hear some of the things that they say. It's some of the interesting comments and compliments that I get, and also some feedback and criticisms that I get that are interesting to hear. But also, and oddly enough, I've gotten questions about this too, is do I get turned on by watching myself? And yeah, I do. I don't know if that's being, vain or a narcissist, but I do like watching some of the scenes that I'm in. But I don't like all of them. And I don't expect everyone to like all of them either. So that's pretty much it on that one.
So something we hear a lot about is how porn is kind of work. You know, it's not everything. It's not all fun and games. What would you say the hardest thing, no pun intended, about doing a scene would be?
Oh, that's just right there with the pun, not so intended. Um, Keeping an erection going, keeping a hard on throughout the filming process is probably one of the most difficult things. It's not so much that you know, you can't have a hard dick and you can't have hot sex. It's you have to stand around and wait and get into interesting positions for the director or the camera guy to get the shot. And you know, if you're having to stop and go and make changes all the time, you lose that energy that you have. And when you know it's not flowing, your dick isn't hard, and it's not going to be a good scene. At least it won't be if you can't get your mojo working. So.
Not many models can really afford to do porn as a full-time career. So what do you do when you're not fucking on film?
What do I do when I'm not fucking on film? Good question, because it's not just my only job. A lot of people assume that I just do porn and that's how I make my living and we make lots of money, and we don't. It's fun, it's creative, but it's not going to necessarily pay the bills. I bartend, I've done security, I have worked as a headhunter, I've worked in a number of different restaurant positions, and now I have my degree in biology, and I'm trying to do something with that, whether it be parks and recreation or in a laboratory or something like that. I would like to do something with that too.
So where do you troll for sex?
Troll for sex. Troll for sex. See, there's a problem with that word. You say troll for sex like we're just stalking people. I look for sex. If I am looking for sex, I use Growler. I use Scruff. I use Grinder occasionally, even though they're not really about bigger guys and bears for that matter. Some of the older websites, Manhunt, Adam for Adam, and also just going out every once in a while. You'll find some horny guy who wants a chance to suck your dick. So that's pretty much my outlet.
So are you single, dating, gay married, legally married?
Gay married? No, I'm not gay married. I am in a committed relationship with a wonderful guy who's been with me for almost 2 years. He met me after I started doing work with Bear Films and knew exactly what I did and who I was when we got together. And it was actually him that kind of encouraged me and helped me start my own website and film my own stuff. So without him, MonsterCub.com may or may not have been possible.
Would he ever join you in a scene?
He has. And he says that he'd be up for filming something with me again, but that he wouldn't want it to go on the website. So, yeah, that's what's up.
So, if you had to really go into it, what would you say would be your ideal perfect date?
Perfect date? Some type of, I don't know, nice, casual dinner, dessert, some sort of walk through a art district, something, scenic, pretty. It doesn't have to be a beach or anything, but like a boardwalk or a trail or some sort of garden or going through a museum. That'd be nice. And then, go have a drink or something after and get home and rip each other's clothes off.
What would you say the wildest thing you've ever done, whether on video or in real life?
Wildest thing. I don't know. I guess it depends what you mean by wild. I've been to like a 12-man sex party before. I have had some pretty crazy couples that I've hooked up with that were into some shit, you know, fisting and role play and bondage and all kinds of stuff like that. And then I've had some guys who I've hooked up with who, you know, we have sex all night, and you know my pelvis is sore the next day from fucking them so much, and other guys who have really kinky fetishes, like choking them while I pee on them, or you know, one guy wanted me to play with his nipples and stroke his dick while I was fucking him with one motion, and it was just very complicated, but I did the best I could.
That sounds really complicated.
It was complicated, you know.
So, would there be any kind of scene that you'd be willing to suck a producer off for to be in? Like, some kind of crazy fantasy you've always wanted to do?
If we could film fucking in zero gravity.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah. If I could either fuck somebody in like a spaceship or fuck somebody underwater, then I think that would be really fun.
Or even underwater in a spaceship.
Underwater in a spaceship.
That would be something.
Submarine MonsterCub.
Submarine fucking. That's a first. We'll have to do that. Okay, so we've reached our rapid fire round. So say the first thing that comes to mind when I say this, okay?
All right.
So, favorite color?
Green.
Favorite food?
Nacho.
Boxers or briefs?
Boxer brief.
Dick size?
Big.
Big. Ass man, cock man?
Why choose?
Well, if you had to pick just one.
An ass.
An ass, all right, an ass. Favorite place to have sex?
Floor.
On the floor, all right. Favorite feature on a man?
Torso. The bust. How everything works together.
Celebrity fuck? What celebrity would you want to have
Chris
sex
Evans.
with? Chris Evans?
Chris Evans.
What about his brother? How about together?
Sit on my face.
An Evans sandwich, maybe?
Evans sandwich with a Seth Rogen for dessert.
Yes. All right, your best pickup line that you've ever come up with?
My dick's a beer can.
That's a good one. Has it ever worked?
A lot of people want to see it, or they're like, oh, I'm a top 2, and then it just deteriorates from there.
Oh, well. Last movie you enjoyed watching?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Last time you had sex?
Yesterday.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Gosh, I'm 27 now. What do I want to do in like 5 years? I would like to be an integral part of a team that creates a product that the American public respects and uses on a daily basis.
Any last words before we sign off?
Check out MonsterCub.com. A bunch of new stuff is coming, and stay tuned to Bear Films. There's a couple more scenes of me coming up. That's pretty much it. I love you guys. I love your support, and you know, please keep checking me out and give me your feedback. Love you. Bye.